afternoon, I decided to change it up a little bit and use a quote from Ezekiel to open the video. So instead of consecrating using the specific triggers alone, this week I'm also going to be reading from the book of Ezekiel. And say, "Thus saith the Lord God, woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes, and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature soles." And of course, this line does speak directly about fortune telling and people who try to make their fortune as seers. I thought it was appropriate. Hi, Marie. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. This is going to be the water signs video. I am still using the Oliver Hebert decks combined. So, if you would like, Cancers, start with Cancer. Just relax and allow any thoughts and ideas related to your intention behind this reading to rise up to the forefront of your mind. Just wait there patiently. And I will shuffle the cards. Oh, thank you, Jason. It's so good to be back. It's been a little bit tricky, but I'm working on it and I'm working through it. Now, Cancer, if any of these thoughts or ideas that you are interested in finding out more about today, causing you stress or discomfort, I invite you to gently breathe through that energy and as you inhale, draw in your source energy in whatever form seems the most intuitive to you. Let it envelop your spirit, every cell, every molecule touched by it. And then just release all of that energy right back out, and it will be transmuted by source energy. All right, let me write down your timestamp. And we will get started. We have here in the past the Knight of Cups. This card is upright. You've been going through life situations, offering this cup of guidance to others out of the goodness of your heart. This card is in the upright and it is in the past. So this is a situation that is bridging the gap between the past version of yourself and the current version of yourself. And what we have there is the Ten of Cups, and this card is crossed by the Six of Wands. So, Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment, emotional satiety. You see that all of the people in this frame are very content, and they are together, and they're happy together. The Six of Wands here, this emotional contentment comes with some kind of victory, recognition for your work, or accolades being paid to you. Here in the Imam Silai, we have the Ten of Wands, and it's reversed. So the Imam Silai is the position talking about the origins and foundations upon which future events will be based. So this card, you're casting off oppression, casting off burdens. You might be in that void of course portion of a cycle where one cycle has ended and you are about to begin the new cycle with the next ace coming through in your life. Here, from your perspective, we have the Strength card reversed. So you might be a Leo cusp or have other Leo placements. But where we see the Strength card reversed like this, it's more of the shadow aspects of it. That you might feel like you don't have what it takes to follow through with things. You might feel like you are not equipped. You might feel like there's a raging beast outside your window and you don't know how it will be placated. That would be a very extreme case, but it is also a possibility here. Now, everything is going very well. You can see that from the place of the significator. It might also be that you don't feel like you're really tapping into your talents at this time, although that would be more appropriate for temperance in the reverse. Let's keep going and see what else is happening here. From an outside person's perspective looking in, we have the Two of Cups. It is reversed. It is that there might be a dissolution of a close emotional bond between yourself and another person. It can be a falling out with a friend. It could be if you have a roommate who's moving out and you're closely emotionally bonded to that person, whether it's for better or for worse, honestly. Because if we see this card upright, it's usually talking about a positive emotional bond with another person. But when we see this card reversed, it could be the dissolution of an emotional bond for positive or negative reasons. Here in the future, we have the Tower card reversed. So there might be a pending disaster. There could be something that you see looming off in the distance as being a disaster. But that doesn't necessarily mean, Cancer, that it will occur. We don't have the Nine of Swords here anywhere. So I don't see a lot of stress built up about this situation. We do have the two tens here. We have that Ten of Wands in the reverse, which is a good way to get this card coming out, or a more positive way to see it coming out. And of course, the Ten of Cups, which is also the end of an emotional cycle, usually a positive ending instead of the dissolution of a friendship or partnership. And where we have these endings, we don't necessarily see what it is that could be coming through next. So you, the rider, glimpsing off into the distance, trying to foresee what's ahead. Here in the position of your hopes and fears, we have the card called the Spider. This is a card of seduction. And so now the Strength card in the reverse possibly makes a little more sense. That you might be seduced by things, something in particular perhaps, and not feel like you will be strong enough to resist. Here in the midheaven, this is going to be the result of what we saw this void of course period in your life where you have cast off burdens and are getting ready for the next cycle, you still will not feel like you have the key to open the door. Let me read the booklet on this card and see what else it says there. Preventing access to the portal. So there might be something about this current period where you need to be very careful about how you free yourself from this bondage, especially if it is a fear-based if it's a fear-based action that you, I have the wrong focus on. Hold on. There we go. All right. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, to put it colloquially. So now this starts to make a lot more sense. That you don't feel strong enough to resist certain temptations. And therefore you're going to end up possibly severing a partnership that that could open doors for you. And you'll be doing it because you're afraid of some disaster that may never happen. It's not saying it won't happen, but it's saying that the partnership that you have the potential to have with this person is going to vastly outweigh whatever potential disaster you are concerned might crop up in the future. And the overall outcome in this situation, Cancer, would then be disappointment. So I really hate ending on this card, but it is appropriate to how the reading is gone. Now, remember that because I read reversals, there is the potential to change any of these factors and therefore potentially change the outcome. That's the great thing about the future. None of it has happened yet. Additionally, it's a tarot reading for entertainment purposes. So none of this is guaranteed to resonate with you or to happen to you anyway. But just remember that the first way that you came through in this reading, Cancer, was as the Knight of Cups. And how important these relationships to other people are to you. That your emotional sensibility is really your strength. And as a water sign, that's certainly going to be true within the context of the framework in which we're working. I'll try not to put in too many disclaimers today, but it's important to make the distinction between the corporeal and the world of the divine, shall we call it, the unseen forces. You can't just take them for what they are. You have to stay grounded in reality first and foremost. So that is going to conclude the Cancer reading for this week. And I would like to invite you to join us for the crystals crying over on the member side of the channel. Now, your presence here is greatly appreciated in whatever form it takes, so please do not feel obligated. Now, I'm going to move on to the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. Oh, good. Marie, I'm so glad. Scorpio, if you would like, go ahead and set your intention and allow any thoughts or ideas you've been having to rise up to the forefront of your mind. And just wait there quietly and patiently. And I'm just going to shuffle these cards. So if there's anything about the current events that is giving you pause or trepidation or making you uncomfortable, as life often does make us uncomfortable, I would like to invite you to breathe through that energy. As you inhale, draw in divine source. Allow it to connect with the oxygen molecules, travel through the electron transport chain in your mitochondria, and then allow all of the little fragments of anxiety, stress, or negative emotion to disconnect with that free radical oxygen at the end and be transported with the CO2 right out of your body. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for coming. It's so good to see you. I'm doing much better, thank you. So, I'm going to write down the Scorpio timestamp. All right. So, here in the past for you, Scorpio, we have the Two of Swords in the upright. There was a choice between two things that needed to be made. And you have made that choice, and now you are walking part of the way down that path. Because this card is in the upright, potentially, perhaps, you would be able to backtrack at this point and take the other route. So you're still kind of contemplating this choice, even though you've already made it. Here in the current situation, the place of the significator, we have the flower, and it is crossed by the Eight of Cups. So this card, the flower, can be about purity, can be about, let me check and make sure. Purity, innocence, simplicity, or something being delicate. And that's crossed by the Eight of Cups. So there might be a situation that in order to simplify things for yourself or to purify yourself, you are leaving a situation. That is entirely possible. That might be the choice that you had made in the past, that you decided to go somewhere else, and now in the current situation, you are acting upon it. Um, and there is a certain innocence to this. So I'll put a bookmark in the innocence part, and we'll keep going. Here in the Imam Silai, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess card has to do with hidden things, secret knowledge, and a balance between the world above and the world below, and striking that balance, being a conduit for that information. Now, this is down in the position where we are setting up for um, the future. We're setting the foundations for what is eventually going to be taking place. And here, from your perspective, we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Perhaps you feel like not much is happening around you, Scorpio. Or it's possible you feel a lack of energy. This is fire of fire energy in the reverse. So, kind of like a polemic opposition to fire energy is another potential. That would bring in implications of the Queen of Cups, who is water of water energy. So, it's a very passive energy, but it's also an energy of passion without compassion. So you might be feeling very passionate right now, Scorpio, but you might not be feeling an energy behind your passion. And I think that what is missing is the connection to other people. And as the High Priestess energy here in the Imam Silai, uh, this is a very solitary kind of an energy, and you could be feeling very disconnected from those around you. Here, in the outsider's perspective looking in, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This card is reversed. You know that usually I call this the quit your job card. So, others around you at this time, Scorpio, might be perceiving that the effort you are putting into different projects is not uh, equally weighted to the compensation you're receiving, such that you might deserve, in others' opinions, much more than you're getting. This could potentially be a manager or a supervisor who doesn't understand why you don't just quit. But it can also be the energy of supportive parents. It can be the energy of a person in your life who supports you quite a bit and doesn't understand why you are not leaving behind certain situations. Here in the future, we have the Queen of Wands. This card is in the upright. And this could very well be your energy, Leo. It is a fire sign. This is a balance now between, as I was saying, with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, where we're getting that polarization with the water of water energy. Now we have that balanced as the Queen of Wands. So all of those nascent creative energies that were perhaps building up the pressure of the Knight of Wands, you will have an outlet for that. You will have the possibility to extend yourself socially to other people. Because remember what I said about the High Priestess feeling like a very solitary energy also. So here in the hopes and fears, we have the Queen of Swords, someone speaking their truth. The Queen of Swords can be very ruthless, whether she's in the upright or in the reverse. This is a very harsh energy, one of the harshest in the deck, I think. It is water of air, it is the pelting rain, it is a hurricane, it is a storm. Now, this is in opposition to where we have this Knight of Wands hanging out here in the reverse. That you are afraid you're not going to have the fire required to weather this storm that is brewing. But the Queen of Swords is just the hypothetical. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands can sometimes look very similar. They're both balanced between water energy and an active multiplier, whether that is the air energy of the Queen of Swords or the fire energy of the Queen of Wands. But while from a distance they might look quite different, when you get close up, or from a distance they look very similar. From close up, you can absolutely tell the difference. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is warm, who is inviting, who makes everyone feel welcome. And the Queen of Swords has the potential to be those things also, but her motivations are going to be based around promoting her truth. Now, here in the midheaven, this is going to be the outcome. Everybody loves this card. Easy read. I could have just started with this one. 9 of Cups. So there will eventually be for you fulfillment, Scorpio. And it's going to be because you were able to walk that middle ground. The final outcome for this reading is the shadow. The shadow is the hidden truths, I think. This is the upright is lies being revealed. Lies being revealed. So this also is, remember, in opposition to others' perceptions of your current situation. So they might perceive about your situation at this time that you are not seeing everything. And that will be coming through. Everything will be revealed that is not currently at this time. Hi, Clark Smith Adventures. Hi, Savannah. It's good to be back. I am doing much better, thank you. So that is going to conclude the Scorpio reading for this week. I'm going to move on now to the sign of Pisces. I think more often than not. Oh, Savannah, I did Cancer starting at the 6-minute mark. I always go in order: Cancer, Scorpio, and then Pisces. Okay, Pisces, if you would, just relax and allow your intention and all the associated thoughts and ideas to rise up in the front of your mind, and just wait there patiently. And if any of this is causing you discomfort, or if you are worried about anything, if it's causing you anxiety, just allow divine source energy to enter on your breath, and envision the oxygen molecule that travels into your electron transport chain in your mitochondria. Allow that divine to travel on the oxygen molecule, travel through your entire electron transport chain, and as it does that, it's going to pick up any of those negative vibrations, anything, any little dust or debris on your spirit. And when it gets to the end of that, then the CO2 is going to carry all of that debris right out of your body. It will be transmuted and burned up by the divine light of Source. All right. So timestamp. And I will get started here in the past for you, Pisces. Here in the past, we do have the Six of Cups. We have something returning for you from the past. And this card is in the upright. So, whatever this is that has returned from your past, whether it's the kind of gum you like, it could be a person, that you haven't seen in a long time. It's an emotional connection to your past self, the Six of Cups. So that could have shown up in the past and is now going to be a part of the present situation because that card is upright. Here in the place of the significator, we have the eye. This card is in the upright. It is about being able to register all of the colors, being able to see all the colors. We do have the implication of the 4 elements here. Could even be more aligned with the 4 corners or the 4 cardinal directions in this case. And of course, because they are symbols that are a little bit different, go ahead and resonate with them and see if they speak to you at all. See if you pick up any colors. Allow your perception to widen just a bit. Because even though you are able to see many, many things, it looks like you are still trapped somewhat in a place of scarcity with this 5 of Pentacles in the current situation. It could even be, Pisces, that you have explored pretty much all of your options, but that moving forward, you don't see the path that you're supposed to take to increase your abundance specifically. Down here in the Imam Silai, we have the 6 of Swords. And this card has a lot to do with taking a pilgrimage, moving. It can have to do with travel as well. So there's a trip that you're going to take, and you're either moving somewhere else or you are traveling, or there's a lot of mobility there. Excuse me, I'm getting dehydrated. Hold on. Okay. There's a lot of mobility tied up in this 6 of Swords. There's a bit of mobility even in the 5 of Pentacles, if you notice. That here we have 2 figures moving under their own power, and here we have 3 figures. We have the presumed parent and child, and then we have the ferryman. Which is an implication of outside help in the current situation. That you might not be perceiving with the 5 of Pentacles, or that you're perceiving all of the outside help that you know is available. But there might be unseen things as well. Things that are not part of the visual spectrum. Things like infrared light can't be seen with the naked eye. From your perspective on the current situation, Pisces, We have the Page of Wands. This card is earth of fire energy. You are bringing the creative down, making it concrete. And you are bringing forth new passions, whether within yourself or others. The Page of Wands can be a bit of a dilettante. And to clarify, just that there might be a lack of seriousness about certain things. It's a very kind of immature energy, but passionate and enthusiastic. Here, from an outside perspective looking in, we have the Four of Cups. And this implies that others on the outside looking in at your situation see that you have a handful of options in front of you, but that you're not taking action on any of them. And that is in direct contrast to the Five of Pentacles crossing the current situation. So there might be things going on where the options that you have available, or there's a perception you have options available, but they are not actually available to you unless you are going to be able to communicate with other people about them more directly. Here in the future, we have the Skull. This card is one of the secret arcana. Death brings life, sacrifice, selflessness, respect, and sympathy. So some of the better aspects of our own mortality that we live through the future in the things that we leave behind. And you want those things to bring joy and emotional fulfillment to other people. There's really something here, Pisces, about this kind of directed action not being taken. There is movement in a forward trajectory, and there's enthusiasm for the cause. But there's not a specific path. It's more just kind of like blending in with the timeline, if that makes sense. In the hopes and fears, you, Pisces, are showing up, the Moon card. Now, the Moon card is about the path forward being unclear. And normally I would think that you would relish in that. The possibility, the obscurity. But you're also showing up here in the reading with the energy of the Page of Wands. So you might have fire sign energy in your chart. You might have earth sign energy. So, sorry, I'm thinking about this. Um, this Page of Wands is very enthusiastic, but if there is not a clear path forward, um, then that energy is just going to be dissipated. There's a requirement for direction from others, um, and a better understanding of the self. With the eye here, you have a very good understanding of the energies around you. You're able to see all the colors. But perhaps what you see of the self is not as clear. Here in the midheaven, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. This can be receiving a loan of money. Well, not receiving, but like taking out a loan. I want to be careful about the verbiage I use there because it's about an exchange of energy in the form of material goods that is imbalanced against your favor. And that is going to be the outcome, I think, with this move, Pisces. Not that you couldn't still have a very good existence, but the progression that you want is not from uh, poverty into debt. You want to move from poverty into abundance. And all of the factors are here for that to happen for you. But it's just going to take being more of a part of the continuity. We do have 3 sixes in the reading, and the 2 that are upright, we have something returning from the past, and we have that 6 of swords signifying either travel or a move in the Imam Silai. And the result of this then being that 6 of Pentacles reversed, that you're having to rely upon the generosity of others. And the final outcome for this is the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. And this has been kind of an obscure reading for you this week, Pisces. So I hope that it has made sense. There's the Four of Cups here in the oppositional position. And this has to do with, having these options that are perceived to be available to you. The advice for you is with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I think not to pursue a particular stream of income. This might be about, should I move? If this reading for you is, should I move to take a new job? For you, Pisces, at this time, I would say that the cards are advising against it. Now, that's certainly not to say that everyone's situation is going to be the same. But the Page of Pentacles here in the reverse is about bringing in new income streams. And it's showing up in the reverse
as the final outcome card specifically is not as much about not getting something that you've applied for. It's more like not trying to put yourself out there in that particular way. So that is going to conclude
all of the water sign readings for this week. This week. This week. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your presence here on the channel is so